pretty Minnie. Hi, chicken. What's up, too? About a foot? Hi, Lila. How we doing, girls? How we doing? Dolly, Dolly. There's Mark up on our roof. This last winter, we discovered that we had ice dams, and so we're getting some heat cable up there so that we don't have issues with ice dams, because we were having a water leak actually into the house. That wasn't good. So he's being brave up there on the roof. Hello, girls.
Hello.
What you doing? Cleaning things up, doing the dishes. I got good kids. Help me take care of the chores. Jello. Okay, guys, happy fall, because it's the 20th of September. 20th, 21st of September is the first day of fall. And everything's looking like it, too. Everything's winding down in the gardens. We've had some really beautiful rain, and we had our camp out with friends and our congregation at church, and that was a blast. We had a great time with that, and but it is chilly, so we're out. Gonna get some work done here now that that's over, because we were in charge of it. Really took up some brain capacity, and so we're feeling kind of relaxed, and whew. So we're moving on. I'm out today, this afternoon, and it is just beautiful. Today we didn't get up any further than the mid-70s, which is perfect autumn weather. We have some rain in the forecast for tomorrow, and we are just just winding down for the season. I'm out walking in the garden, just seeing what we do have left, see if anything has come on that we maybe need to look at. Oh, now that's interesting. So I picked this corn off the other day, and it wasn't red. Let me show you. So this is red popcorn. Is it coming in clear? There we go. Now when I picked it off, the tips were kind of red, and the rest of it was just white. But look how it's all changed. Now it's obviously not big enough. It's not going to be big enough to harvest for seed. It's not big enough to popcorn on either. So it's okay. It's really just something I wanted to try and see what would happen. So, but that kind of surprised me, because I tossed that in the garden the other day, and now it's red. What do I have over here? Looks like I've got something coming on here. A little bit. Some silk going on there. I don't know. This stuff, it just didn't get tall enough. We didn't have enough water on it. So, anyway, looks like we actually might have some more beans. Huh. So interesting. As things wind down, we've pretty much lost most of our squash plants. I've got one zucchini on over here that I'll need to pull off, but that's good. We like zucchini. Looks like we've got some more beans that have come onto some of these plants. These ones here didn't do much. So, got something over there. So some of these look good. Those ones I'd need to dry and then harvest the beans out of them. So beans, I need to revisit that. We just can't really grow enough to make it worth our time. We did pick off all our Congo watermelon, but I think we've got a couple of sugar babies in here, or actually that's a cantaloupe. So seems like I had one cantaloupe in here that I did need to pull off. Or maybe it was over here. Anyway, yeah, there's a couple more sugar babies. We're just kind of leaving things. We haven't really been watering it, but we have had some rain. Oh, it looks like we got to get that cucumber off of there. Yeah. And it looks like we had something. I think we had some deer come by, because I was noticing on some of those bean plants that the tops were kind of nipped off. But that little cantaloupe, that one's done. It's actually split. And that one's done. That just popped right off. So we've got, yeah, here, you take them. You take them in the house with your Jell-O. The Jell-O? No. I'd rather you didn't.
My spoon.
Oh no. So Marin's my little shadow. Anyway, so we've got corn on here, but it's not very thick, and it's not. I'll probably pull it off just to see what kind of colors I've got. But anyway, so yeah, this thing here cracks me up. This giant sunflower stalk. So it's got sunflowers all up and down it. It is so much fun. We always seem to end up with one really giant one. But this one just, it grew and grew and grew, and then all the flowers bloomed all at once. So pretty. The bachelor buttons are pretty much done. We need to start pulling those out. They've all reseeded for the coming year. So we'll have more bachelor buttons in here this next year, because they reseed really good. And honestly, they could be, hi, there's Ollie. They could really invade your garden if you don't keep them kind of localized and stuff. So we've got them in our little planter bed right here, and that's gonna just keep them from going crazy. That's what it's gonna do. So it looks like that plant's pretty much gone. I was hoping these were supposed to be, I thought these were supposed to be a paste tomato. They look like the shape of a paste tomato, but they did not get very big, so it wouldn't have been able to use them for that anyway. Mark did pull off the few tomatoes that ripened down there, and it looks like we have a few more that might come on. Looks like I've got a whole bunch of cherry type right here that I need to go through and pick off. These are so yummy, and they're really cute. So they're kind of this stripy orange and red, and they're really yummy. They're really sweet. And there's actually a whole bunch in here. I just have to get in and pick them off. Our butterfly bushes have just gone mad. They are so gorgeous. Guys, if you need a low water plant that just thrives, butterfly bushes are so great. And they bring in the pollinators, the bees, the butterflies, the hummingbirds, all of that stuff. And they are very low water. If you get a lot of water on them, see, I like this size where they get about 3 feet. We had one in a neighborhood where we were in a townhome, and we had an HOA, and they did all the gardening, and they put one next to our door that we'd bought actually, and they planted it for us next to our door, and it was on a drip system, and it would get 6 to 7 feet tall every year. So if you have a lot of water, they can get big and bushy. But here's this one. Now, we did have a couple big tomatoes come in on this, and we've got a few more that if we have just enough time, should come in again. Oh, look guys. Now let's see if it's any good. Oh, it's not. This one dropped off. Oh, something's been eaten on that, so darn. That's what happens when you don't pay attention, I guess. Or else I have some hornworm or something. See that? That one is kind of yucky. It's just hard to pay attention to it. And it's gotten so big. Oh, you know what? There's a smaller one in here. I don't know, it's got some root rot too, or end rot, not root rot, end rot. So, shoot. But I've got a couple down here, underneath here, that are starting to change, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. It's always amazing to me how this green foliage can kind of hide that red color in there. Looks like there's one on that plant too. But we did lose a couple of these plants. Our soil is really bad. So we will keep working on that, keep working on building the soil and making it so that we can get better garden. Our tree, he went up probably 2.5 feet this year, so he's getting nice and full. I'm really excited to see what he does this next year. He'll start changing his leaves. Actually, they are changing. You can kind of see in here the leaves going yellow, so the fall colors are coming on. So anyway, you guys know I'm a pretty heavy-set girl, and that sometimes I walk around and I breathe heavy, and I've actually always had a problem with activity-induced asthma. And so when I get moving, it becomes hard to breathe, but my weight doesn't help. So I went in for physical, and actually everything's okay, but I worry because my mom she was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. She's in her 70s, but her mother had type 2 diabetes also, and so I want to do better so that I'm not dealing with those issues, and I really want to lose weight. So I asked my doctor about it. Sounds like a commercial. And he recommended that I do keto. So for a couple weeks, the whole family did straight keto. The first week was a little rough. The second week was better. And for another week, we didn't do it at all because we had so much other stuff going on. And then I decided, I think I can do it kind of part-time, definitely reduce the refined sugars and things like that. And honestly, the first 2 weeks I did lose like 5 pounds. So I'm going to keep working on that. And hopefully over time you guys will see changes. The 5 pounds I think I lost in my face. And not really anywhere else on my body, but we'll keep working on that. So we're at the end of breeding with Stoic. I think I've talked about that before. And Lucy's ready to be back with her friends, and Stoic's just, being Stoic. I really love Stoic. Stoic, you give me such pretty babies, you big stinky boy. So eventually we want to bathe him and shave him, but that's going to have to wait until spring. We're already getting into the cool enough weather that it wouldn't be good for him to do. Hi, Lucy. How you doing, sweetie? Do you and Stoic make some babies? Did you guys make some babies? I think they did. There was a day that she was kind of vocal and he was kind of vocal, and her milk production dropped, and that usually happens when they go into heat. She's got a bit of a belly. I need to get some baking soda out over here. So anyway, you doing okay? Yeah, you tired of him? So yeah, so we'll be taking him to be with the boys again. We'll move her over with the girls again. And then we will put Everett in here with a couple of girls that we're wanting to breed. We're going to put him in with Dolly and Daisy. And we are going to get a better shelter built over here. I really want to put my chickens over on that compost. So I'm going to have to see if I can figure out a way to do that so that they can dig through that. You guys are so awesome. You take such good care of my goat pen. This fence has been perfect for keeping the goats out. And the chickens, these chickens, they look really big, but they actually go through this fence pretty easy. They have to jump up to the, it's a little narrow at the bottom too, but they jump up a little bit further and they go through the fence and they go and scratch through all the stuff in the goat pen. Keeps it nice and loose and easy for us to clean up. And we are due a cleaning, aren't we guys? We're due a cleaning. So anyway, chickens and goats, it's a good thing as long as you can keep the goats out of the chicken feed, because they don't need that much grain. We're on our last, looks like the last 4.5 bales of hay, which will last us a couple weeks, but we have plans this coming week to go pick up 80 bales of grass for the winter so that can feed everybody over the winter. Should last us. So, how you doing, buddy? I don't know what it is. It's just one of those mild days where I'm just loving the weather. It is so beautiful out here. Everything's green, and that's not usual for this time of year. Usually everything is just brown and gray and getting a little bit of rain, getting a sprinkling. Wonder if my husband's up on the roof. I don't know if he'll want to come down. He wasn't sure if he'd make it up because it was getting cloudy. Yep. A little bit of thunder. No, these guys, I love the rain. It smells so good, and if you don't live near a mountain with pine trees, it smells so good. It smells so good. I could just be out in this all day. So he's debating because we've got a squall coming through.
I'm not really worried about the rain as much as I have lightning and stuff.
Right. This is going to pass over real quick.
No, I'm just worried about, I'm going to wait and see if it doesn't rain too hard.
About the lightning, huh?
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
So.
Dang.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be fine, and then that kind of popped up. Yeah. I'll show you my little goaty goats. They think they're going to melt. So they get in the... Are you going to melt? Are you going to melt? You going to hide in there? Yeah, they're out of the rain. They get out of the rain. They are not wanting that. For sure. And it's hard enough for me, too. So, time to go in. I love the view from my window. Listening to the rain. So, yeah, not a lot has happened because we did have that party on the weekend, but we've been making lists and we've got little things coming up over the coming weeks. Stuff I've already talked about, mucking out pens, building shelters, getting feed. Yeah, so we're a small homestead and it's kind of fun to see how things go over time. And so we'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.